Hey everyone, here with HB, and this is the big boys of the Battle of Wits deck, which is a Mushin Notion recursion deck. Pretty good time. A lot of fun to be had motioning things and hoping your opponent runs the ones you want them to run. Kind of a weird hand. Don't have much in the way of econ. We have our trusty HB ability. This is why this idea is so key. So against Vikram, don't really know what to expect. Or sorry, against Whizzard, I don't know where the Vikram should really go. I guess we'll cover R&D. Can't use programs, so I think that blocks the medium at least. See if he's on Faust or not. If he's on Faust, then landing some brain damage is really good against a Faust type deck. We got our spicy brainstorms. This is a 3x in the deck. It's really funny when it works. It doesn't always work. You put it somewhere where you think they're going to run. Maybe they're going to hope it's not a brainstorm and just like, oh, I'll face check this, and then you smack them for a ton of brain. And that's basically game over. Like if he checked the brainstorm right now, we'd be extremely happy. I think we still res this for 6. He's going to have to click through. And our R&D will be safe for a little while. Yeah, Parasite comes on him, so that's too bad. But it is what it is. Can't do a ton about it. We archive something. We could archive our hedge again. No, let's just draw. We'll let him just trash that. Well, no, we'll use it now. Actually, I do want a little bit more economy to be in my deck. Let's try to get a Mushin. Do we get a Mushin? We don't get a Mushin. Well, that's an issue for us. I guess we'll just play it and see if he's got a way in. Looks like he's on regular breakers since he's playing all this economy. If you're on Faust, you maybe don't need that much. You also may have just drawn all his economy. So you can sometimes, if they're on regular breakers, get like 2 different types and gear check them. And actually score mandatory upgrades. Not that common. Ow, paperclip. That's pretty good. So this is the issue with this deck can happen sometimes, is you draw all your recursion before you draw anything to really recur meaningfully. Like now we can't Mushin. Now we're doing nothing whatsoever. We can make him pay $1 to check this card. It was about all we can really do. It's fairly miserable for us. We could advance it to 1, but he can install from archives anyway, so blowing it up at best costs him 4 credits. I think had we advanced it, he probably would not run it. Just let him know there is secretaries. Maybe he'll respect a later card as potentially being one. Oh boy, our hand is a mess. So our Vikram slowly dies. We can still hope that he runs archives, just on a whim. Oh, not this server. Eventually we'll get our next up, potentially. I don't know how many parasites he can play. Blow up our Vikram, makes sense. I don't think purging is worth it. It's really a whole turn that he gets for setup. Now he's gonna have sucker tokens all day. We're not that vulnerable to Whizzard ability because we're playing mostly operation economy. Ah, there's nice. That's what we need. Stem the bleeding temporarily. But he can get in our HQ whenever he wants. Yeah, I think we'll just end up getting parasited down. We have the dream of landing brain damage in archives. Because he has face checked a number of ice so far. Kind of thought he would go to archives. Usually if they get like their contract down, they might run archives for that reason, or they might have dirty laundry. So as it turns out, if we had played this to HQ, we would have been in great shape. Yikes. Would he run a Mushin? I think he would not run a Mushin. And the reason for that is, I think he's already at 4 points. He doesn't want to take a risk of running a 4 overrider. So I think we'll get to fire our beta test safely and use archive to fetch an agenda that gets tossed by it. Unfortunately, this is not our mandatory upgrades. So this has been mandatory upgrades here that he didn't run. We'd be in extremely good shape to fast advance our remaining 3 2s. So I agree with him not checking this. I think this makes sense. Because we could have easily played the overrider here had we felt that it was a thing. Now we're going to try to get some next ice and bring our next bronze to at least slightly fight against the Yogg. So we'll score it with 4 tokens for no real benefit, and we get a free next bronze. I guess that's all right. So we're going to archive for face down, which is picking up an agenda. And maybe I'll motion the overrider next and try to make him think that we're motioning the agenda we just picked up. But then again, I think he still has the option to ignore it. So the agenda could be the right choice. What do you think, guys? Will he run the motion if we motion out the beta test? We also could motion and play the quicksand in front, which might encourage him to run it. But he knows that... I don't have a good read on him right now. Like if I motion and cover it and he runs these quicksand, it's kind of the same as not firing it. Or as not bothering ice at all, because it's not a credible ice. I motion this and then he doesn't run it because he's worried about the brainstorm. I'm going to go with the original plan of hoping he thinks this is the agenda that I've archive memoried. But I am concerned that he's going to just run R&D. Oh, he's even going to hit. Oof, that's too bad. Yeah, so we could have another free beta test here that would have potentially protected our R&D. say we archive our Mushin, archive the secretary, and try to hold on one more turn. So it doesn't just diffuse our HQ. There's not too many units left, so I feel like R&D might be all right for the time. Yeah, that's a good move. He's going to kill our next silver and just check our HQ to try to hit the secretary. He can't effectively run 4 times. He might just get lucky on the beta test and, yeah, sweep us. Whew. Well, that's too bad. Got 1 Mushin, but we were too hesitant to fire the second Mushin on the second beta test. I don't think he fell for our ruse. I think he thought it might have been the agenda, but he was willing to let us go to 4 since he had so much control over our centrals. So, well played. Flowers can drink. We're going to see another Mushin come out. EMP is very far away. He didn't really respect the brainstorm, which is too bad because we didn't draw a second copy. We had plenty of cash for it, but he kind of face checked everything. So we had a few things that could have gone better for us this game. It's dicey when you get your archive really early and you can't spend them on anything because your hand really does fill up. He also had the paperclip on the early mana upgrade, so had that gone our way, it would have been pretty different. Yeah, so I think next time I put Brainstorm in HQ. I thought he would just come here for a casual run, but how you put it on HQ, it would have taxed him, even if once he has his breaker, to repeatedly run in here and check our stuff. Maybe R&D is okay too. It would have died to Parasite, but had we even res it instead of the Vikram, it would have been a nastier check. Tough to say. All right, thanks for watching.